Good morning, midnight coders. Welcome to the weekend. If you've made it this far, congratulations. It's a busy, hectic time of year. Um, I know myself, I've been running around ooh, busy all week as well because of the upcoming season. But so today, or in today's stream, we are break out the list. We are going to be creating a new slash command in our Discord for our Discord. We're going to be making it to do, where it's going to take in a string parameter of a parameter of type string, where we're going to take in the task. So what it is that we are looking to add to our to-do list. For example, drink coffee. We're going to be creating a new Discord API controller so that we can handle our Discord related interactions, such as posting a new task. We are also going to be creating a new DTO to be able to handle our Discord to-do task. We'll also be editing the existing to-do service so that we can create a to-do based off of a Discord to-do, or this to-do, this task. We are going to be adding a new button to our Discord bot that's going to allow us to complete a task, and once we click on said button, we are going to be it's going to then generate us a select menu so that we can select the task that we are looking to say has been completed. So if that kind of is up your alley, or you're down to just vibe with me while we code, then by all means, make sure you got a full cup of coffee, and we'll dive on in. All right. Get rid of my big head. Bring up the console, or not necessarily the console. Bring up the IDE. Now, I would like a little bit of feedback from people. I discovered that I can use a zoom feature on my IDE. So whereas my font is still set to the normal font that I use, for presentation or doing streams and videos, I would like to know your feedback on the size of the font. I'm specifically using 175% zoom. So I would like some feedback on whether or not this is a acceptable level of font, or if it should be shrunken down a little bit more, or maybe maybe it's not zoomed in enough. Give me some feedback and let me know how the zoom level is for you. I also noticed that this is down a little bit and not being picked up in the background. Y'all aren't able to hear the background music that's going on. There we go. All right, so let's dive into our Discord bot and go down into our list. Well, first we have to pop into the Midnight bot itself, and we're going to scroll down to our commands. So down here, we're just going to simply duplicate this. I did that with Control D. We're going to come down here and call it to do. There we go. So here we are adding a new command, a new slash command. The command itself is to do, and we're saying that the description of this is add a new task to your list. We're going to add an option to this that is of type string, and it's going to be the task. So this is the task to add, and we are making it so that it is a required field. So next, we need to pop into our no, we're going to pop into our commands, and we're going to make a new command. This one is going to be the add task. All right, so this guy is going to be very much like structured like our other ones. It's going to be implementing the slash command interface and the network. So I'm just going to copy paste this in here, hit Alt Enter to grab the necessary command from here. And now in here, we're looking to simply validate. We're going to need to get the Discord member, so that kind of works. I probably would have named that. Could try though, IntelliSense. And I want to we want to be able to get the option, so this will be the event get option. Our option in our case is task, and we want to get that as a string. Now this is throwing an issue because it potentially has a null pointer exception if the option task does not exist. But as you see, we are providing it with a task, and we are making sure that it is a required field. Now I could satisfy this and simply say, I don't know. I guess is that an optional option mapping? Okay, this will be an option task or task option, I suppose. Is going to equal this, and we'll just simply return if it's not true, and then we'll just square this up just to make everything happy. So next we are going to be, oh, I guess we need to create a DTO first. So let's make ourselves a DTO. This guy, we're just going to make it into a record, and this is going to be this task. No, I'll make Discord task. We'll call this the Discord task. And this is going to just straight up contain a string for the task. Technically, it's going to contain a long, which is the Discord ID. Yeah. Okay. So this is going to contain the Discord ID and simply just the task to add. Very bare bone, basic to do task or DTO. So in here, we're going to create a new. We want to make a new a DTO, and this one here is going to be a Discord task, which is going to take in the Discord member.get ID as long, which theoretically we need to make sure that the Discord member is also not null. So if either of these are null, we're just going to stop, and theoretically we probably shouldn't. We should probably log that in some way, shape, or form, just so that we know what's going on and we're not just throwing shit away. So in here, I'm just gonna come out, and normally you would want to use some sort of an actual logging framework for this, but for our simple jumping cats, hello, yikes. Are you happy with yourself? Yeah, you're happy with yourself? I'm glad you're happy. Guess what? Now you're coming on camera. This guy. Hello. This dude just totally, out of the blue, jumped on my lap. But he doesn't really jump when he comes up. He's a lazy little frigger. He decides to dig his claws into the arm of my chair or my leg, and then haul himself up and climb. Like, you're a dumbass, you know that? He likes to be on my lap while I code. I don't know. He's kind of my rubber duck. At this point, all my animals are my rubber duck. And in fact, often you'll see me looking down. Often you'll see me looking downward when I'm talking to the camera. I typically talk to my penguin. My wife had made me, because I'm sick so often, my wife had crocheted me a little penguin that I bring with me to the hospital whenever I go in. So whenever I'm recording a video or whenever I'm sort of just explaining something, rather than looking up here at the camera to you guys, you'll often see me with my head down, looking here where I'm actually talking to my penguin. If you guys have a little rubber duck on your desk that you talk to while you write code or explain stuff, hit that thumbs up and let me know what your rubber duck is. Mine just happens to be a penguin. So, next thing we need to do down here is we need to be able to post this DTO or put this DTO. I guess we'll be posting this one technically. We're going to post this, so we need to have a controller or a new place to actually fire this off to. So if we come up here into our controllers, we make a new Java class. This one here is going to be the Discord API controller. This guy is going to be a REST controller. It's going to have a request mapping. This one is going to be API/Discord, and then we'll figure out yada yada from there. We're also going to slap in a... No, we're not, actually. I want to stay away from Lombok. I was going to throw a Lombok piece in here, but get it. So we're going to come down here, and we're going to make a private final to-do service. Which... Did we not name it to-do service? Oh, capital D. Jeepers. Okay, so we're going to take this in, and then we're going to add it in through constructor injector. And now we're going to come down here, and we need to make a post mapping. This one is just going to be straight up to... maybe we'll make this /to-do. I don't know what else I'm going to... I guess I'm just gonna go with tasks for now. And in here, we're going to take in a request body, which is going to be the DTO object. Why did that come up? I'm going to call it the DTO. And then from here, we are going to, yeah, basically just do this. And now we're going to pop into here. This is going to return a Boolean, taking in the DTO. And then from here, I am going to use the very same logic from here. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Okay, I gotta pop into here, into the user service, because this has the user account repo, which has the user account. Yes, okay. Where are we doing here? Find by this. Okay, so this already exists in here. So the to-do service. Okay, I'm going to come in here. Find by Discord, DTO, Discord ID. And now because this is an optional, I want to know simply if the user is present, then I am actually going to rename this to optional user, so it's a little bit more so I want to know if it's user, and then I'm going to make a new user down here, which is going to basically be this. So we're going to get the user, and then I'm going to make a new we're going to make a new to-do task, set the description to this, set the user to the user. Yeah, that's all we need. Yeah. Okay. So, and then of course we want to make sure that we return save. Okay, so yeah. And then of course, otherwise we are looking to return false. Okay, so we're gonna come back here. So now whenever we make a post to API/Discord/tasks, all right, so that's good. Okay. It will then create it, and it's going to return a Boolean. So now we're going to come back into here, and we're going to use the REST client to post. And we're looking for the URI, which I believe we have a base URI in play, which just simply goes to localhost. Okay, yeah, so perfect, and it's going to API. So I don't need API here. I just need Discord and tasks. Then I'm going to put the body here, which is our DTO. And then I want to retrieve. This is straight up a Boolean. So we're looking to just return whether or not it was true. So we're going to come up here and we're going to call this the reply. And now down here, we want to know if the reply was successful. So like we added the task, then we're going to reply with that we've successfully added a task. And I am actually going to make this formal. Line that up. And here's our task. So here's how we add a task. There we go. because we are actually using legitimate objects and not just type references, we're going to check the true equalities here. All right, so that's going to be successfully created. And basically, otherwise, we are going to else. We're basically going to reply with that. Yeah, cool. So here we are. We're going to get the Discord member, get the task option, validate the null that they're not null. We are then going to get the task code as a string. We're going to create the new object that we're going to pass to the network. We're going to pass it to the network, get the reply, and handle it appropriately. Okay, and we can validate this is the right URL thanks to Spring Boot and IntelliJ. We can simply control click or middle mouse click, and it takes us directly to its declaration. So right here, we know that we're posting to the correct area. All right, so now that we can create this, now that we have this, we can go into our listeners / command listener, and we need to, we're just going to duplicate this, and this was the command to do, and it was our add task command. There we go. So now we're all set up to come in and handle our task when we reboot our bot, or when we launch our bot. Command handler, yep, that's right. This one here is handling this for now, and we'll add a way to put the status of whether or not it's been completed after. Easy. We have a way to make a new Discord task based on the Discord ID. We are then grabbing the actual Discord user, creating the ID, setting the description, setting it to not completed. It was and that it was created now, not completed, last modified now, and the user is so and so. Then we're going to set it or save it and return. Okay, perfect. Just making sure I wrote all that right. Have the task here, we have the listener, we have the, okay, perfect. So now that we have this is going to allow us to use / to do, provide a task, and it's going to add it. Okay, so if it's true and it's been added, the other thing that I want to do is actually update. No, because we're not actually providing the thing. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. The next thing that we're looking to do is add a button to our Discord bot, so that we can we're looking to create a button so we can mark it as if it's been completed or not. However, before we do that, we should probably check and validate that our existing code works. So let's go ahead and run our Midnight List application. Should turn on no problem. All right. Looks like everything is set up. Everything is on. Go into port 80. We can see our information. We pop in, log in. We're good. We have our tasks. All right. So now if we check out Discord, we can come into here and do /mylist. And it comes up with our 3 tasks. And if we did /to-do, we can now provide a task. I'm going to say, put on more coffee. And it looks like we failed to add. Why did we fail to add? Okay, let me clear this out. We'll retype that exact message. And we failed to add task, try again later. Alright. So we failed to add task. Is that due to actual failure or what? Because we didn't actually add any login or anything going through all this process. Let me hop into here. Let me, because I have to stop the program because I'm using a file as a, yeah. So let me reload the database, pop into the to-do items, and it did in fact fail to add yeah, okay, so it did in fact fail to add that, but now why? So let's check a few things out here. I am going to disconnect myself from here so that I can do this. We're going to run this guy in debug mode. And I'm going to pop a breakpoint here to see what's up. Because I think it may not be finding... it may not be finding my, my account. Nope. That's not the reason. On that, or, you know, breakpoints are just not straight up not working. Oh, please tell me breakpoints are working. Really? Love it. Breakpoints are not working in debug mode right now. That's perfect. Clear the console, re-enter the command, nothing prints to the console. Love it. Nada. And breakpoints don't hit, so let's get rid of my breakpoints because they're apparently useless. And now we're gonna go into here. We're gonna go into the command, and I'm going to add in a simple input-output print to print the reply of this. I'm curious. I'm also going to come into here, and I'm going to print out the DTO because I'm, again, curious. And then service. I want to print out the user. I'm going to print out the user. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to print out the item because I'm curious what it is. And I'm also user not found. Okay, cool. Let's see if we can swap this bytecode and do a little hot swap. It says here that the code was fine. I'm just going to go back into my Discord, press up and re-enter. Nothing. Null. Okay, so because this was absolutely useless, I'm going to come into here and I'm actually going to do this dot concat. I'm going to concat the user so that I know what the hell is going on. Okay, so there's that. Jump back into here where I think I was just doing. Okay, so this. Concat. Do string. Received for adding task. Request received for adding. Okay, so that's got that. And in here, I was also just replying. Okay, so this is going to be. Okay. Reply from server. Network is this. ToString. And of course, okay. So that adds a little bit more logging to our request. So now let's try to swap this out again. It seemed like it worked. I'm going to go ahead and press up enter. And we failed to receive reply from the network. That came from here because the reply was null. Okay. Okay, so why was it null? Okay, so iota print this stuff. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I think I'm looking more for this and that. Bodiless entity, suppose for now, so that I can get the status code of that. And then reply dot. Oh, reply dot body. You know, maybe we'll do a new parameterized type. Boolean. Sure, let's try that. And the hot swap failed. Cool. Restart. What am I doing? What am I doing? Get rid of that. Why is that up? Okay, so now we're gonna come in, clear that, come into here, press up, do this again, and get 302. Reply from the network, 302 found. Okay, so I think this is just straight up because of how I'm returning this. So if, or sorry, var added task, we'll say is this, and then we're going to I guess I'm just honestly looking to return whether or not it was added, so... we're gonna do a new response entity. I think. No, because that's giving me the other issue. That should be better. I don't think this is gonna hot swap. Oh, it did. Will that legitimately work? No. Cool. So let's just stop it and rerun it. And clear that. Go here. Up enter. And we're still getting a 302 found. Why am I getting a 302 when I'm sending a 201? 300 is like 302 is a redirect. Oh, that's why. Okay. I think. So security configuration, no, because API anything is supposed to permit. That's all supposed to be badly okay to go through. Why am I getting redirected? Let's pop into my endpoint. We're gonna tell it that we want midnight main. Drag this down. Okay. And I'm gonna stick my Discord ID in there. Where the hell is my... Where can I grab my ID? Copy ID. This here. And put on more coffee. So now if I post this, which I really don't need the 80 on this. If I post this. Oh, geez. Apparently it does actually need the 80, does it? So confused. Yes? There we go. Okay. Weird. Okay, cool. Whatever. Weird. So if I post this, I do in fact get redirected. And I'm getting redirected to a login page. So any requests going to API/anything are supposed to be okay. So why are we being redirected? Is it this? Is this throwing us off? I'm just gonna be curious here for a second. Okay. Rerun this, because I'm just purely curious now at this point. Curiosity is interesting. Okay, so now if I rerun this... Okay, now I get the right thing. Okay, so yeah, now it's my CSRF. Cool. So, get rid of this now. I can get rid of this, go back to here, and all that logging was essentially fucking useless. Alright, So if we bring up our Discord again, we come over here and we ignore the 150 fucking messages of this. There we go. And now we do my list. We now see that we have another task added, which is got an X next to it because it's not completed, for putting on more coffee. All right, so next we want to add a button. So that we want to add a button to the bottom of this so that we can mark a task completed. So let me close out of all that noise. We're going to come up here, minimize that for now. Discord, we're going to be adding a new package. This one is going to be for buttons. I think I'm just going to call this button action. And yeah, I'm just making it as a thing. Okay, cool. So we'll come down here, we'll slap on functional interface to this bad boy. We'll come into here, we'll add a void, not execute, but handle button action. And this bad boy is going to take in a button interaction event. There we go. Now we're going to make a new folder for implementations. This is what well, doesn't really matter at this point. I wish that sealed interfaces were allowed to be able to use like package instead of just the specific. It's like I would like to make this into a sealed interface that then takes in just the specific interfaces that or the specific implementations that I supply. But my own OCD, I like to make a buttons class, stick the interface in here, so this can be like where I define all of my logic, so to speak. This is where I define what would get added or what kind of actions would happen or what, and then I would write implementations inside of the implementations folder. So I wish that sealed interfaces could pick up on like sub packages and recognize that it's within the same parent package, or at least it's in the same package that the root interface was in. Because now in here we're going to be just making a new button for complete action button or complete task. And this one here is going to implement the button action. Going to take in what it needs to, and this is what I mean. Like I wish I could come in here, say that this was a sealed interface, and I wish I could come in and say that this permits and I wish I could say that. But I can't say this because it's not in the same, like this wouldn't be able to be said, but like I can't do this because the completed button is from a different package that is not allowed to extend a sealed interface. So I really wish that Java had the ability to pick up that, you know, this here is in the same buttons interface, like same package here, but pick up that it's in a sub package, if that makes sense. I really wish this was something that Java could do, but unfortunately, it is not a feature of their sealed interfaces. Maybe they will in the future. I don't know. But personally, I wish they did. I wish they would. So anyway, coming back into here, we're going to say this clicked button is going to implement here, and this is going to handle the event. So now, same as we did for our command, we're basically going to be doing similar logistics checks for this, except instead of the task option, this is going to be the button tuned, the button button clicked, I guess. And we're just going to call this get button. Bigger? No, get button. Go away. What is with it? Hey, wait, why did we add that? No, go away. I don't want that. I want to change this to button clicked. Eesh. Oh, cool. So button clicked just can't be null. All right. So if the user's null, we're just gonna break out. Next, we want to verify that the person who clicked the button is in fact the person who the button was made for. So this myList command, when we do all of here, we are going to be, we're not doing it quite at this very moment, but we're going to be add a complete task button. And this is where we're going to be doing that, is in here, and then we'll add the component to the reply. But for now, or actually no, let's do it now because we need a. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do this now. Button. Look at that. Where the heck did my mouse go? All right, so let's import this from here. I'm gonna call this var because I just prefer that. So then here is the primary. The ID says here is complete task, but we're actually going to change that because this here, we're going to make it complete task. We're going to add an underscore, and here we're going to dot concatenate the Discord member's ID. So this is going to be how we're going to know who the button is made for. So the fact that we're naming the button primary is going to make it, I believe, green or blue, based on Discord's stuff. Anyway, but this is going to be, what we're doing here is because we need to know that if I am the one who is, the list is presented for, and I was the one who did it, I want to tack my ID onto the button so that way, when I click the button, or somebody clicks the button, the system needs to know or be able to validate that the person that the button was generated for is the person who clicked it. Otherwise, simply reply and tell the person that, hey, this button is not made for you, so don't touch it, kind of thing. That's the goal that we're looking to accomplish here. So when somebody does the my command, we're looking to add this button, and then we're looking to create this button, and then we are coming down here, and we're going to say dot add action row, which is a complete button. There we go. That's actually pretty simple. So now we can get rid of this guy, and now if we rerun the bot, Oh my god, I've been writing code with the bot up this whole time. Jesus. I'm really bad for that, and I'm really sorry. Okay, so if we come into the bot and do /mylist, I now get a list with a button that says complete task. So the next goal is when we click the button, we want the system to know that this button was made for Glabe, and that Glabe clicked the button. We're going to go ahead and do something. So let's get rid of Discord, jump back into here. This is how I was handling that. So I'm creating a button. I'm saying that the button is of type primary, which is why it's blue. I'm saying that the ID is going to be complete underscore task underscore, and then we're going to concatenate or add the Discord member's ID number. Okay, so now we go into the actual button, and here we want to know the ID of button owner is going to be equal to the button dot get ID, get the ID, and I'm just simply going to replace complete task with that, and then I'm going to trim it. And why are you... This is why I tried to say, if the frickin' button is null, then ooh, you're stupid. Okay. Cool. So the ID of the button is this. Then we're going to check the ID of button clicker. Now, I've got two strings, and I want to basically that, yeah. So if the ID of the clicker, which is that's going to be a string, and this one here might as well just be get ID. That's also a string. Theoretically, they're just a string of numbers. However, I'm going to say if the objects don't equal and I'm going to event dot reply, this is not your interaction to not your list to interact with. Dot setting morpho or true, and queue that up. Okay. So here, if the person who clicked the button is not the actual person that the button was generated for, we're then going to go ahead and say, okay, this is not your list to interact with, and then we're going to break free right there. So now we're going to come down here, and we know that whoever it is that clicked the button is in fact the person the button was made for. So now we need to make a new select menu. So here's where a couple of pieces of magic need to happen. I'm just going to minimize this and this just to keep some real estate because this zoom is pretty large. This also is going to need to take in an iNetwork. because we need to make a request to get the list of tasks that this person has. So we have a very similar thing inside of here. So I am just going to simply copy and paste this. So we're going to come into here, and I'm going to just, again, I'm just copy and pasting this. Why is that an issue? Is that not? Oh, shoot. Yeah, okay, that's why. All right, so now that we know that we're able to do this, we're going to fetch a list of to-dos from here so that we have a list of to-do items, or a collection of to-do items. Now, down here, we need to create a select menu. We're going to have a list of select options. So we're going to call this an options, and this is going to be a new array list, but it's not of string. This is of select option. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to go over our result. Oop. I'm going to go over our result, and we want to loop over each task. And we're looking to do something here. So in our case, yes, but we're looking to make this the opposite. So we're looking to put the description of the text in here, so that is what people see. So this will be like drink coffee, subscribe, yada yada. And then here, I guess I can get rid of this, make that into a straight up lambda. Okay, so in here we're going to add a selection of, we're going to put this as what people see, so like the description of the text, and then we're going to put the ID of it as the value, so that once somebody actually clicks it, we'll be able to know what task it is that we're looking to mark as complete. So let's come down here and now make a string select menu dot create. This is going to be that is perfect. We're going to add a placeholder, select that. That's perfect. So this is going to be our tasks to tasks to complete selection. Cool, I think that works. So now we're going to come down here, and what we want to do is event dot. So what I'm going to do, because we don't necessarily want to we want to refresh the menu. We don't want to, or the embed message. We don't want to necessarily make a new embed message. So what I'm going to do here is, well, I mean, technically we are, okay, so we got the select menu. Yeah, okay, so this is just going to be edit embeds, but I'm not actually editing the message embeds. I think I'm just editing the components, technically speaking. Okay, hold on a second here. Var. What am I doing? What am I doing? I believe this is what I'm looking to do. Okay. So here, what I'm doing is I'm just going to simply take the existing action row or the existing row with buttons on it that you can see. I think. No, I don't have it. I don't have it up. So I'm going to take the existing row, which has the button, and I'm going to add selection option beneath the button. Then I'm going to simply just reply with with editing the components of the message that was clicked. So here is where next we need to go into our listeners, and we're going to need to create a new listener for buttons specifically. Honestly, I am just probably going to copy the model listener, replace it for the sake of it, and just call it a button listener. Button listener. Okay, so this is going to be on button interaction. Button interaction event. Get button dot ID. And the button ID. Let's command. We're coming in here. Yeah, so if it starts with this, then okay, so this needs to change up to be if trigger starts with this. What did I call it? Okay, so oh, jeepers. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. So if trigger is null, just return. So trigger starts with complete task. I think that's what I started it with. Yeah, complete task. We're going to go in and handle the button reaction. So now if I reboot this, nothing's going to happen. Now if we go back into the midnight, no, Yeah, midnight listener. So now we come in here and we add a new button listener. This should now be listening for buttons. So now if I rerun this, okay, and we pop into Discord, and if, just for the sake of this, I'm gonna retype the command, and also for the sake of it, I'm going to clean up my past lists. So in here, you'll now see the button. If we click on the button, it then creates a select menu, which asks us to choose which one that we are looking to complete. Now, the next thing that I want to do here is add a little filter, because right now, clearly, we're not going to mark completed ones that are already completed. That's why would we say something's completed when it's already completed. So we're going to come back into the complete button. We're going to come down to where we're generating our list. And we simply want to, we're going to add sort of an extra line in here and say, if task is completed, I don't think I can continue in here. Oh, I can't. So we're just going to simply say if a task is not completed, that's when we're going to add it to the options here. So something just as simple as that. If we rerun this, and again, I realize you probably didn't see that, but you may have. If we come down here now and I click on this button again, and now if we select the task to complete, I've only got the incomplete tasks listed. So now if we click on our put on more coffee, nothing's going to happen because we did not add our select menu listener. So the next step that we need to do is handle our select menus. So we need to create, like we did for buttons, create a select menu listener, which is going to listen for complete task menu and then handle it appropriate. But as you can see, again, we are just refreshing, sort of, so to speak, the existing embed message, as opposed to replying with a whole bunch of extra messages and spamming up the chat. We're trying to just keep it nice and clean and handle it with just a single embed message. So next thing we need to do is copy and paste our, no, not that we have to, but we're going to copy and paste our button listener. And instead of being a button, this is going to be a select menu. Add this. This one is going to be on select. You know what? I don't even know what that's going to be called. Let's just get rid of this altogether and say on select. There we go, because we're using a string. Remember, we're making a string select. We're going to say on string selection. And this is what we're going to do. Won't be non-null. We are going to come up here, go to the beginning of this, and because we're using Spring Boot 4 in our application, we're just going to null mark this so that we can verify that there's no nullabilities. Love JSpecify. So next thing that we're going to do here is we are going to look to add or do our basic checks for nullability. So we want to make sure that the event, because like, okay, get selected options get first, because we're only selecting one single option. This is going to be the selected or selected task, I guess I'll call this. All right, and of course, if that happens to be null, we'll just break free. We're going to grab the task ID off of the value, and we're going to be going back into our Discord controller, where we're going to be coming down and making a put mapper, which is also going to be to tasks in order to mark one as completed. This is going to take in interesting. And that is going to be the task ID that we're going to be. Okay, so task put. This is going to be a long that we're completing of the task ID. Yeah, am I just gonna take? No, I don't want to just a task because I need to. This toggling task completion is again right, but assuming that it's the current user. So I need to do a Discord completion, basically, or complete Discord task. So I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna make a public Boolean completed Discord task. I'm going to take in a long for the Discord ID and a long for the ask ID. And then we are going to optional user. This is just going to be the Discord ID. And, well, basically this. The user. Okay. But what I'm looking to do is sort of this. That is fine by user ID and okay. Okay, so I need. Okay, I need to make an optional to do item find by ID and user Discord ID. Oh, yeah. But I'm not looking for it by user. Or no, a user Discord ID. Yeah, I guess that's right. So that's what I call it. Was it a user Discord ID? User. Oop. User. And then was it Discord ID? Yeah, Discord ID. Okay. Okay. So find by ID. Yeah, that's task ID. And the users Discord ID. Okay, perfect. So now in the service, I want to. Technically, I'm looking for the optional ask Mike. Okay, so. Oh shit. Don't mean to be adding this in here. Fuck. Adding it down here. Okay, so that should be fine there. So now I'm looking to complete. I did completed Discord. Okay, so back in here, I want to know if completed Discord task, and this is Discord ID. Discord ID and task ID. Okay, so there's going to be 2 request parameters in here. I'm going to take in the task, and then I'm going to take in Discord ID. So that should be good for there. So now I go back to the select menu. I have the task ID. So here I want to get implements the iNetwork, get REST client dot put dot URI, not exactly, Discord tasks, and then I'm looking to add in task ID. Yeah, task ID equals task ID and Discord ID equals Discord ID. Cool. So I'm looking to do this, do that. And I'm looking to retrieve that. So now if reply is null, which apparently it's not going to be, reply dot bodiless entity dot get status code dot is 200 successful. We're going to do something. We're going to reply that it was marked with the, yeah, okay, cool. Edit message, we're going to say task marked as completed. Hold on a second. I'm going to grab the because here I basically want to refresh the message. So if I look at my list message here, I don't like doing this, but God, I've got too many things going on here. Okay, what is calling this? Here. Okay. Jeepers. Okay. So now in here, we're going to, after we've marked it as complete, we're going to fetch the list of to-dos. And this is going to be Discord ID. So I'm going to up here and say Discord ID. It's going to be equal to this. That's going to take that. That's going to take that. And then we're going to come down here again and say dot okay. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to do this, edit message, set the embeds equal to the embed message.build, which is essentially rebuilding it. And then I'm going to set action row equal to action row of event dot get message dot get action row dot first. So this is going to return me an action row, theoretically, but what's the issue? Cannot resolve method set action row, action row. Okay, so this needs to be a list, I believe. No? Okay. I just get rid of this for a minute, come up here, var, no, you don't like that either? What do you not like? Cast it to this. You know what? Set components. Fuck you. Let me go with that. Alright, so now if I just give me a second to make double check on this. Yeah, okay, so I gotta make the select menu listener. Oh shit, did I write that entire thing in here? Oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna copy that. Jesus Christ. Didn't even clue in what I was doing. Okay. Okay. So in here, we're going to make a new Java. Nope. We're going to make a new package. This one is going to be menus. In here, we're going to make a new Java class, which is going to be an interface, which is going to be an I select, I string select menu. Yeah. And then we're going to make a new package for implementations. And we're going to make a new one for select ask to delete. So now this is on. Whoop. Whoop. This is going to be void handle string selection, and this means string select interaction event. And now this is going to implement this, which I'm going to re-put in this. This is also going to implement my network client to make everything happy and copacetic. Okay, there's that. Sorry, I had blindly added this to I just blindly added this to the thing and didn't need to the listener and didn't even clue into what I was doing. So we're gonna go into here, this trigger. We want to make sure that the trigger is not null, which apparently it won't be null. So then we're gonna go ahead and say if the trigger starts with get rid of that. Select menu listener. I'm working in you. This one I can get rid of. The API controller, I still need to do service. I can get rid of. I can get rid of you. My list command, I can get rid of you. Add task command. This is going to generate that. And no, I can get rid of that too. Get rid of the button action. Complete task is going to generate. This is the select menu here. So select menu listener. If we happen to have this, which technically I could make this into a switch. Base. Complete task menu is going to be select task complete, which is going to be this, which is going to select this, and then update that. Perfect. So now I need to come down back into my original part here. We need to add in a new no, what's that call it? Just a select listener? Select menu listener. Okay, there we go. All right, so that adds a listener so that it's listening. The listener is now listening. The trigger doesn't technically apparently need to be a null check. So now trigger is going to be the ID of the menu. So if the ID is equal to this, which we set the ID of it here. So if that is the case, we go into our select menu and handle it here, where we're grabbing the selected task from the menu. And we're doing some null checks, and then whatever. We're making a put to the back end to mark it as completed. If it was successful, we're gonna we're gonna then fetch a list of to-dos so that we can rebuild the embed message. Put that back over, and then we're going to add the fields, yada yada yada. Go through the okay, perfect. So now if we rerun our application, cool. And if I was to click on the whole complete task and get presented with my list of a single item to complete, I am going to click on it, and something failed. Somewhere along the rainbow we failed. Cool. Where did we fail? There was no log that printed. And I tried to click on put on more coffee because that's the task that we want to complete. The interaction itself failed. So we are in fact adding the select menu, and we are checking to see if the trigger is this. However, I don't know what the actual trigger is, so I'm going to print out, see if we can just print out what the trigger is. I'm going to rerun this in debug mode so I can do a little bit of hot swapping. We can track this down. Ah, okay, so the trigger was the ID. The ID is not what I wanted. I really wish I could add a breakpoint in here so that I could... Oh, look at that! My breakpoint worked! Woohoo! Cool. Alright, so doing this... So if I'm looking at the event... Interaction, custom ID. Interaction. Oh. But, okay, so event. If I look in the event, this is the interaction. There is a custom ID. Okay. I'm going to hot swap this again. We're going to continue out with this. I'm going to try this again. This time the trigger is still that. What about the component ID? Was that the one that I was supposed to use? Yes, component ID was the one I was supposed to use. Okay, cool. So, there's that. So now I'm gonna spot it here. That seems fine. I don't know if that's the next thing that breaks or... Oh, it runs through fine. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, okay, cool. So it actually... Yeah, cool. Okay, so it does work. I just needed to debug for nothing. Alright, cool. So, as you can see here, after I've completed the task, it did say put on more coffee is now completed. So let's take a look at our browser. And let me pop over here, log in, log in. There is actually an option for putting on more coffee. And there you go, guys. So that is us adding our Discord bot to be able to complete a task. So now we can add tasks via the web browser. We can add tasks via Discord. We now have our Discord bot that'll be able to add commands. We have our web browser that is now able to add tasks on our Discord, and we're now able to add tasks. We're always able to add tasks through our browser. But yeah, I'm tripping over my words. I don't have enough coffee in me yet. But you see what I'm going with here. So now we can add a task on Discord, add a task on the browser, mark one as complete on the browser, as well as mark one as complete in Discord. So whether we're on the go, sitting at home, or however we want to make a list, we now have a very useful, very helpful to-do list. I'm not really too sure where to go from here, other than potentially adding a way to delete, but I'd rather keep that just in the browser rather than through Discord. I'm not too sure where to go with this project from here, so I think I am going to wrap things up. I I believe I'm going to wrap things up here for the to-do list. I believe we are going to call this midnight list completed for now, unless somebody can think of other features that we should add or something else that could be useful to add in here. However, I'm going to wrap this up here, as this will be the end of our midnight list. If you've enjoyed this series, go ahead and hit that like button. It lets me know that I'm doing something right. If you want to suggest something new that we can do tomorrow, by all means, reach out, let me know. Either reach out to me through YouTube, reach out to me through Discord, get my email. It's java_guru@live.com. Let me know one way or the other what you want to see. Let me know what you would like to see, whether it be, I don't know, just let me know what you want to see. We will create something from it. Tomorrow we will journey a little deeper into Discord bots and game design as we continue to explore our Rune Hero bot. This will be a project that is more based around Discord and RuneScape. So if you would like to join me on that journey, by all means, hit that subscribe button and get notified when I go live. I try to go live as much as I can, although I do suffer from a health issue, which does prevent me from doing some of the things that I wish I could do. So I do my best to stream daily. I try to update everybody as much as I can, as often as I can. And if you would, if you learned something, by all means, hit that like button. If you enjoyed this series, by all means, hit that like button. And as always, keep your curiosity open, your skills sharp, and your coffee cup full. And I will catch you in the next one.